Hello and welcome to the Printable Cuttable Creatables YouTube channel. My name is Lynn, or LV Handcrafted, and today I thought I would make some keychains for the holidays. I have these keychain blanks that are circular and they are 2 inches in diameter. So I've created on my canvas here in Cricut Design Space a 2-inch diameter circle. That way I know how large my keychain blank is, and I can scale my design to fit within there. These really cute SVGs are of Santa, Mrs. Claus. There's a cute boy elf and a cute girl elf. Today in this video, I'm just going to do Santa and Mrs. Claus, but I do want to go back and do the boy elf and the girl elf too, because I think they would also make for really adorable keychains. Because the keychain itself is pretty small, I decided I'm only going to use their heads. So I'm going to actually delete everything, all the layers for the body components, and then I will just leave myself the head. But what I want to also do is kind of just give the impression of the face. And in my mind, I think this might look good, but we'll see in reality how it turns out. So you can see I got rid of the skin, and which gives you the outline of the face, but I'm leaving the facial features like the eyes, the eyebrows in the case of Santa Claus, and the at the moment, I left the eyeglasses of Mrs. Claus, but before I go to make this, I actually decided to remove that just to simplify the design a little bit more. Because it is so small, I want it to be really easy to read, so I don't want too many overlapping shapes. And all I've done is scaled this down so that it fits. And when you do the scale down, you want to make sure that you're locking the aspect ratio. That way everything scales in terms of the width and the height, and you don't have a distorted image. I'm gonna double check all of my layers here, and I wanted to sort of preview the idea of not having that skin tone layer, and also I wanted to just turn some different layers on and off to see if removing it, again, this is just a pass at trying to simplify everything so that the design reads well. Then I go over to hit the make it, and what I'm looking for is I want to minimize how many colors that I'm using on this project. And when you color code within Cricut Design Space, Cricut, when you go to make it, it will actually separate, all of the same colors onto the same pass when you go to make it. So if you want everything to cut out at the same time from the same material, all you need to do is just change them so that they are the same color. And so I did a bit of that cleanup off screen, and so now you can see here I just have basically 4 colors. One of them, the gray, I'm not going to even cut because that just represented my keychain blank. And on this white layer, there are a lot of itty bitty places. I'm just gonna drag them so that it makes for a slightly more efficient cut of my vinyl. And then I'll go ahead and cut my pieces. I end up with just 3 different colors. I have white, red, and black. And then what I'll do is weed out the vinyl that I don't need. So everything that is surrounding the actual design of Mrs. and Santa Claus, I'm going to pull that off from the backer sheet here. This is permanent vinyl and it is sticky on the back, so to actually transfer this onto my keychain blank, I am going to use a little bit of transfer vinyl. These blanks are really nice. They're crystal clear. It doesn't look like it's crystal clear right now, but that's because both sides actually has a protective sheet of plastic. And so I made sure to remove that from the one side so that I can, it's still a little bit frosty, so it does help me to be able to actually see what I'm doing by leaving that protective liner on the back side. And all I've done is just cut a bit of transfer vinyl, and what I'll do, and actually I was able to use this bit of transfer vinyl a couple times, so I use that to pick up my vinyl off of the initial carrier sheet, and then I'll use this to actually position and place it onto my design. Transfer vinyl is just a bit of plastic that has a little bit of tackiness on the back, but as you can see, it's very, it's sort of low tack. So it has just the right amount of adhesive to pick up your vinyl, and that way you can kind of transfer it off of that carrier sheet and onto your project. But then when you go to peel or lift that transfer vinyl off, it doesn't peel the vinyl back off again once it's on your project. So it's often used so that you can actually place your vinyl and position it onto your project. So I've got Mrs. Claus finished, and now I'll do Santa. One of the things that I would recommend, because I did position Santa a little bit off. In the end, it didn't make a huge difference, but I would definitely recommend, especially with the blanks that I'm using because it's clear. What I should have done is I should have put Santa's beard underneath my blank as I was positioning his hat. That way I have sort of that full, sort of the positioning just right, because as it turned out, the hat I placed onto my keychain a little bit lower than I should have. I should have actually nudged it up just a smidge, and that would have been the perfect fit for the mustache. But as it is, to get the mustache to fit onto the keychain blank, I did have to overlap it with the hat, which isn't how it was originally designed. And so it doesn't matter a ton because I was still able to fit the eyes and the eyebrows into that little open space. But I think it would have been a little bit nicer to have more room to work with had I actually positioned the hat correctly initially. The other option is, use or place your biggest piece first, because the beard was the largest piece, so it might have been better to place that one first and then the hat, especially since if the hat has to overlap the beard, it does kind of make a little bit more sense logically also. So just a couple of tips as if you want to make a project like this. Now these blanks did come with the little keychain ring, as well as these really cute tassels and a jump ring to attach all the components together. Initially, I was thinking I would put the tassel on both Santa and Mrs. Claus, but I decided I'll just put the tassel on Mrs. Claus, that keychain, and I'll leave the tassel off on Santa, and then I'll go ahead and assemble all of these pieces. These blanks were actually very, very affordable. So if I got them off of Amazon, and so many in a set, so it's really fun to create these. They're great. They might be a little bit large in the sense of actually putting them in your pocket, for example, because it is 2 inches in diameter, but I think they would make for fun gifts to kind of attach to maybe a book bag or a purse or something like that. I think these would be really, really fun as little stocking stuffer gifts. So I can't wait to make the little cute girl and the cute boy elves. I think those will be really fun to make as well. And for those, instead of red, I might use greens and maybe a second color as well. So again, trying to keep the colors very minimal, and that way the image is a little bit more simpler and a little bit easier to make out. So here is a final close-up look of my two keychains. I did peel off the back so you can see these blanks are crystal clear, and I think it's really fun. I think it worked out well to not include the flesh tone because I actually don't have a flesh tone vinyl, so that's actually one of the reasons why I decided to do these keychains this way. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.